Hello underachievers, so this is a video that was highly requested and I wasn't sure if I should do this video because I thought maybe it would be a bit mean to talk about people that have interacted with me. So I'm just going to put this out there. If I'm talking about you or someone you know in one of these stories, I don't hold anything against you unless of course you're someone that did something very fucked up. But if it was just an awkward situation, then it's fine. Also, I've used the word fan in the title. Just want to know that I don't use that word to describe people that follow me or that support me or whatever. I just feel like using the word followers or supporters in the title just wouldn't have read as well, so that's why the word fan is there. So yeah, today I'm going to be talking about awkward fan experiences or bad or negative fan experiences. There's literally not a way to say anything about this without sounding like a cock. So just a bit of background, my online presence, I guess, kind of all started in 2015, 2016. That's when I first started posting pictures and like videos of myself, and I guess my following kind of shot off a few years ago and it's growing still and it's still shooting out. But recently, more or less every time I go outside the house or I go to an event like a concert or I go to like a festival, or obviously if I go to a meetup, there are people that like recognize me and want to come say hi, and that's completely chill. Like, I'm very happy to like meet you guys if you want to meet me. I literally don't know how to say this without sounding like a cock. I'm chill meeting you guys if you see me on the street or whatever, and it's lovely talking to you guys. But they're having some very awkward situations, and situations that I'd rather didn't happen, so I'm going to talk about them. So the first time I got like recognised in public was, I think, a few years back. I think it was 2 or 3 years back. It was when I was in a Primark going jeans shopping with my mum. And this was before I was publicly out as trans, and I was shopping in like the girls section for jeans, just because I was looking at the girls' jeans. And yeah, that was my first worry about this encounter. Pretty much, I was walking through town with my mum, and I noticed these two girls kind of like staring at me, and I was like, okay, they're staring. I don't know what they're thinking, but they're staring. And for about 10 minutes, me and my mum were like walking through the bottom floor of Primark, looking through clothes. She was looking for clothes for her, I was looking for clothes for me. And yeah, that didn't go too well. I didn't really like any of the girls' clothes, obviously. So I was like, hey mum, I'm gonna go into the dude section upstairs, come with. And she was like, okay. So we got on the escalator to go up the stairs, and then suddenly there's just people screaming behind me, and obviously I was a bit startled. I was like, well, why are people screaming? Is there an emergency? But there wasn't an emergency. There was just two small girls like at the bottom of the escalators just staring at me and yelling a bit, and I didn't really know what to do because as they were down here having a bit of a scream, I was like slowly going up. And I was just kind of, you know, looking at them. And I didn't really know what to do. And my mum was like, hey, I bet they follow you. But then, like, I made eye contact with them and they started, like, nodding at me. And, like, it was weird. So I kind of went back down the escalator and I talked to them and I was like, you alright? Because I'd never met anyone that followed me before in that situation, and I didn't really know what to do. And it was just a kind of awkward conversation. They were nice, I'm sure they're lovely people, I was just a bit scared. And the whole time I was literally shaking. I don't know why. I have anxiety. I was really anxious. I didn't know what to say and I didn't know what they'd think of me. I thought they'd see me and be like, oh, he's actually a girl, because I hadn't been on T at that point and I wasn't out as trans, so I was worried they'd think I was a girl. I was just stressed out, but yeah, they were nice, I guess. I feel like it was awkward because it was my first time like meeting someone in that situation, but also because they had like obviously followed me into Primark and around Primark, because I kept noticing them behind me. And what made it worse was my mum was just like, yeah, go say hi to them, I'm off. And I was like, what, mum, like, stay with me. I was fucking terrified. This was at a point in my life where I couldn't really do anything without my mum because I was very sad and I was very anxious. But yeah, that's story number one. That's fun. That's a good easy start. Next story. So this story also happened a few years ago. This was at the first meetup I did. If you didn't know, I do like meetups 2 times a year in April and August in Hyde Park in London. Pretty much me and my friends just organise a day and a time for everybody to meet up in a park, and we kind of just sit in the grass and talk to each other and make friends and hang out. So it's a very friendly environment, and this was the first meetup, so I didn't really know what to expect. I think I had about 30k on Instagram, so I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know how many people were going to show up. But there was a fair few people for like the amount of followers I had. And yeah, what I used to do at old meetups was, because there weren't like a ridiculous amount of people like there are now, I could literally just sit and chat in groups of people. Like, people would like meetups start awkward and then everyone like manages to find friends and they sit in circles and just talk to people. What I would do is that I would just go walk around, talk to random people. If they were looking at me, I'd be like, okay, they're trying to make eye contact, I'll go talk to them. And then after that happened and after I'd met everyone, I'd kind of just like move between groups and just like have a chat with everyone, and that's how they used to go. Obviously they're not like that now. So obviously I went and sat down in a group of people, started talking to them, and then someone, I don't remember who it was or what they looked like. I think I just, you know, phased that out of my memory. So pretty much when I was younger, the only pair of jeans I would wear was a pair of black jeans with rips in the knees, because I thought they looked really cool and I was an emo. So I was wearing those jeans at this one meetup, and somebody sat next to me. I was getting weird vibes from them. I'm not really sure why I was getting weird vibes, but I was getting weird vibes. I was having a conversation with someone in front of me, and then the person next to me kind of just like slowly like trailed their hand onto my leg, and I was like, right, I'm not for this. And then they just continued onto the knee, and I was like, alright, what's going on here? And they just slipped their hand into my trouser leg, up the thigh of my fucking ripped jeans, and I literally had to stop and be like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm not cool with that person, whoever you are. I don't remember, but I know I said at the beginning I don't hold anything against, yeah, fuck you. That shit's gross. Next story. So this also happened at a meetup. A lot of these stories happen in the meetup. So yeah, it was in the middle of a meetup. It was in the summer. It was a nice vibe. It was warm. It was sunny. It was so nice. I was standing up and I was talking to a few people in a little group. We were just having a laugh. And then from out of nowhere, it seems, someone just emerged from the outside of the circle into the inside of the circle, makes direct eye contact with me and just says, Noah, why did you block me? And I was a bit like, oh, good question. I don't know this person. I don't recognize this person. There is not a single idea in my head as to why I blocked them. But then I was like, to be honest, I don't know who you are, but here is a list of why I block people. I block people if they're rude to me, if they comment some rude shit, if they like a comment of some rude shit, if they catfish me, if somebody sends me screenshots of them chatting shit about me, and if they're just a general dick in my comment section. So I was like, I don't know, you're probably one of those people. To which they replied, just, no. I was just like, alright. Alright. And it's just fucking awkward, because there was several people around me just like watching this interaction, and I was just a bit like, I'm sorry then, I don't know. I did not enjoy that situation in the slightest. So this is kind of just a general interaction that I get a lot of the time. This is not aimed at anyone in particular, but this happened when I went to a music festival on Friday. No offense to you, dude, whoever did it, like, it's fine, don't worry, I'm not mad about it. But this tends to happen every time I have a meetup, or every time I interact with someone who, like, follows me online. They'll come up to me and they'll be like, oh, hey, like, I like your YouTube videos, I like your Instagram, like, thanks for posting. And then I'm like, ah, that's chill. And then I'm like, you okay with hugs? Do you want a hug? And they'll be like, yeah, and then we'll hug. And then the hug will finish, and they'll give me a bit of a look, and they'll be like, oh, you're shorter than I thought you'd be. Thank you so much. Every single meetup I do, there's always, like, it's not even like there's one person that says this, there are a lot of people that say this. So, like, I know I'm short, I'm 5'5", I'm not ridiculously short, I'm not, like, dwarf level short, I'm taller than a lot of people that come to the meetups, but everyone always has to say that I'm short, and I have said several times online that being short, you know, makes me insecure and causes dysphoria for me, because obviously I'm shorter than the average male, which isn't great, doesn't make me feel great. But all the time, at the meetups, or like anytime I meet up with anyone that follows me, all the time, they're always gonna be saying like, hey Noah, you're short. I thought you were taller. You look so much bigger on the internet. And I know they don't mean any harm by this, but it's still just like a bit of a kick in the teeth when I'm just like, hey, like, how you doing? And they're just like, you're short. There was also this one time when a girl at a meetup was just like, I'm disappointed, you're shorter than I thought you'd be. And I'm like, disappointed? What do you mean disappointed? Like, what were you expecting? What? I don't understand what you expect of me. I don't understand what you expect of me. Like, in what way do I owe you height? I don't understand that. Why would my height disappoint you? I don't get it. And every time someone says I'm short, I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. And they're like, haha, yeah, and it's just fucking terrible. Also, another thing that always happens, and obviously, like, I'm not here to shit on people that are socially awkward, but a lot of the time when I meet someone, they're just like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so awkward, you're gonna hate me. And I'm like, look, I don't hate you, and the situation wasn't awkward until you said it was awkward and that I would hate you. Like, tip number one, if you're ever gonna meet someone that you follow online, don't start the conversation with, I'm so awkward, or don't bring in the phrase, you'll probably hate me, in any situation. I get that all the time in, like, DMs, I get that every single fucking day in DMs. If you're meeting someone, surely you wanna make a good impression, but saying you're awkward and that you're unlikable and that nobody will ever like you isn't cute and endearing. It's more just like, oh, you've just made the situation uncomfortable and I don't really want to respond. Obviously it's fine, and I know people don't mean any harm by it, and they don't mean for it to like make the situation more awkward, but it's just incredibly uncomfortable, because I always have to be the guy that's just like, oh, it's fine, don't worry. And obviously that's my fault for putting myself out there and being on the internet and having people like look up to me or whatever, but I'm just saying, it's like, if for next time you meet someone that you like or you look up to, just like, those two phrases, just like, get them out of your brain. Another recurring theme when I meet people is that they always ask to be friends, and I'm like, number one rule for friend making, don't force it. It's like going up to someone who you want to date and saying, hey, can we fall in love? It's just a bit awkward. I like my friendships to start like organically and not start with the goal of becoming friends. Like, I'll become friends with someone because like I enjoy their company, or we share the same interests, or they say something funny and I'm like, hey, I want to know more about you. But like saying, hey, can we be friends, is just really awkward, and it happens all the time, and it's like, ugh. Because a lot of people say this, and I can't just be like, no, we can't be friends. And I don't know what to respond. I just don't know what to respond. The reality of the situation is that I'm not going to be friends with like a 13-year-old from Plymouth. You live hours away, and also I'm 20 in a few months. That doesn't, no. I'm sorry, no. It's just a bit awkward. Another awkward situation. It's also happened at a meetup, which is very cool. I do really enjoy the meetups, by the way. If you're getting a different impression, I'm sorry, that's not what this video is about. Another awkward thing that happened was that at the meetup, someone stole my phone. It's not as bad as it sounds, but it's still not the greatest. So, at the last meetup, long story short, I spent 6 hours standing up meeting people, and it was lovely, because everyone was really nice. Everyone was proper nice, but obviously standing up for 6 hours, talking to people non-stop is tiring. So, my boyfriend came and picked me up, grabbed me, and he put me in a circle of my friends. And it was literally just my friends sitting down, chilling. They're like, oh, hi, Noah, I haven't seen you all day. And I'll be like, yeah, sorry, I've been meeting people. And they'll be like, it's chill. So yeah, it's a circle of my friends, and I feel like it's pretty obvious that we're friends because I'm like lying on top of them. And this was like my only opportunity for a break from the whole meetup for like 5 minutes or like 10 minutes or whatever. And I thought people would get that impression. Obviously they didn't, and that's fine because I didn't tell them like, hey, I need a break for a bit. I was just like picked up. But yeah, I was sat in a circle of my friends, and then these two kids came over and sat with us, and I was kind of like, okay, and they kept staring at me, and I was like, alright, I just kind of want to like chill for a bit and like talk to my friends, and obviously like they want to meet me, and that's fine, but like I just need a 5-minute break. So I was kind of like resting my eyes. I literally could have had a nap, I could have fallen asleep, and then yeah, I had a bit of a chill, and then I got up and went back to meeting people. But after the meetup, turns out, my friend Phoenix told me this, that they stole my phone and started taking selfies on it, and I'm like, I'm not comfortable with that. Like, I left my phone by my leg because it was too hot, and it was like, you know, it was sweaty around my jean area, so I took my phone out and put it by my side. But yeah, these kids had like picked up my phone, and they knew it was mine because it was by me, and they had just taken selfies on it, which is not cool in any situation. Like, I get if you're my friend and you do that, like, it's fun, it's quirky, it's like, hey, here's some pictures of me as a reminder that you love me. But like, after Phoenix told me this story, I went on my phone and I just saw a bunch of selfies of people I don't know, and I was like, oh, that's very scary. There are people on my phone. Please don't do that. So here's the last story. It's pretty much a grim story, not a fun story, don't enjoy it. So let's just get straight into it. There was a person that would not stop grabbing my ass. Yeah, there's this person that came to a meetup, a few meetups back. I was sat in a group of my friends, I was just talking, and then I got up to stand up, because, you know, I wanted to meet people. There were people that I hadn't met, and I wanted to talk to them. So I stood up, and then this person just grabs my ass. And I turn around, and I'm like, don't do that. And then they're like, ha ha ha, and then they do it again. And I look around at my friends, and they're like, dude, what the fuck? And nobody says anything, which, whatever, they thought I'd deal with it, and I did deal with it. But I was like, stop touching my ass. So they stopped at that point, and then, obviously, walked off, met some new people, and then further on in the day they grabbed my ass again. And like, I don't enjoy my ass being grabbed by strangers. I don't know if that's something that is a shared value or a shared like preference for other people, but to me, I don't like strangers grabbing my ass. Like, this is some Sam Pepper shit. And I really do enjoy the meetups. Like, they're really fucking fun. I get to meet new people. I get to hang out with people that I probably would never hang out before with before. But there's this one kid that just grabbed my fucking ass. And I didn't want that attention from this person. It was not fun. There are other stories that I could tell, but I just thought I'd talk about those ones. If you want to have another one of these videos, I can make another one of these videos. But yeah, to the people that were just kind of awkward, that's fine, like, whatever. I get meeting someone and not knowing what to say, that's, like, entirely fine, and I'm not trying to shit on you at all. Like, you be you. If you're uncomfortable with that kind of shit, then fair enough. You're gonna say some awkward shit. But to people that intentionally are bad, fuck you. So yeah, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Comment some awkward experiences you've had, either meeting someone you look up to, or just in general, just some awkward experiences. I want to hear all about them. I want to read these stories. I want to scroll through my comments and read these stories and cringe a little. Because who doesn't love a bit of cringe? Alright, well that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I think I already said that. I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. How quirky. So yeah, have a good day or don't. See you later, losers. Give you a punch. Sorry about my hair as well. It looks shit. Because this is just how it dries now. Like, I had blonde hair before, and it was really unhealthy, so it kind of just, like, dry flat or straight. But now mine kind of, like, waves, and it's uncontrollable. I have no control of it. It's kind of cool sometimes, but I look a bit like a bellend. But that's fine. We'll live. Goodbye.